Yeah, it's been pretty tumultuous watching the results flow in, but generally what they appear to be doing is starting with the absentee votes, which are not as much for us, then rolling into the election day votes, which are more for us. I think what we see now are more of those election day votes coming in, which seem to be going pretty well. So we'll keep monitoring it throughout the night as they report the election day votes, but it seems to be going in a good direction.
It must be somewhat of a roller coaster. I mean, we've been going back and forth. You had a big lead opening up, and then Meijer took the lead, and then just recently, as you walked into the election party, you retook the lead. I mean, how do you feel today?
Well, it's a bit jarring. You go back and forth, and you're sitting there hitting reload so many times on phones to see what latest results are. But there's so many people praying for this, so I do have a sense of calm and peace as well. So I can kind of just relax a bit and see how things turn out.
I mean, this race is going to go into the night, but it could be even longer, depending on the final total is. If it's only a certain margin, I mean, this could last potentially for weeks, potentially. I mean, what are you going to be doing in the days ahead?
We'll have to see how it turns out. If we need to take action on certain things, we'll do it. But for now, I guess we'll just see how the results come out and then go from there. I think we have a pretty good team in place to be able to handle anything we need to do. But it's hard to know what we'll need to do right now. So I think for right now, we'll just kind of continue to look at the results and hopefully see a favorable result.
This race has not just been closely watched in Western Michigan, but really across the country. You're obvious. We know the implications of this with Representative Meijer, Republicans devoted to impeach former President Trump. I mean, how are you feeling that so many people nationwide are kind of watching this race at the moment, especially with the uncertainty that we don't know an outcome just yet?
Well, it is quite fascinating to think about that, this race is such a focal point across the country, both in terms of President Trump as well as the fact that Democrats think they can flip this seat. So yeah, it is getting a lot of attention, and we know that it will continue to do so if I end up going on primary here tonight. So we just have to be ready for a national fight, and it also means we'll have national allies as well. So I think we'll be more than up for it if we do win the primary. So I think we will.
So you do think you're
I have a feeling we'll pull out.
I mean, with all your supporters here, everyone here and beyond Washington, what do you want them to know about the uncertainty of this most closely watched race, and then know that?
First, appreciate their support. Thanks for staying up late. Keep crying, prayer does make a difference. I think we want the right outcome to happen here, which I believe is good for us here. So, thanks for being with us. I'll tell those supporters. Let's see what the outcome looks like.
Thank you.
What message do you have for Democrats who pour a lot of money into your race and hope that they can see a result that you want? What do you have to say to them?
They don't pour any money into my race. I haven't seen a dime. They spend their own money apparently on advertising trying to attack me. So I don't know about that. I don't pay attention to what they're doing or not doing. I think we're in a very good position regardless of what they do or don't do. So they can figure that out and argue amongst themselves what they're going to do. But I'm focused on making sure that we run efficiently and that we're going in a good direction.
What percent of your support tonight would you claim for the president?
I don't know if you can put a number on it. People do trust President Trump because he's earned that trust. For many, many years, long before Trump, the Republican Party has been having a low-grade civil war in which the establishment has been pitted against the base of the regular folks. And Trump was just the first guy smart enough to see that and stand up with leadership for regular folks. That's happening on the Democrat side too, for that matter. But so because of that, people respect Trump. And that's why his endorsement does mean something. But also, ultimately, I'm on the ballot. It's my name that's on the ballot. So people do respect my story and my background enough to come out and vote for me. So I appreciate that. Trump endorsement does mean something. I'm endorsed by Dr. Ben Carson as well. That means a lot. But ultimately, I'm the one who's on the ballot, so people have to support me and my story. So I think we're seeing that.
Thank you.
Did you think the race would be as close as it is right now?
You never know how this stuff's going to turn out. I know that in all the polling that's been done, we were doing much better than this. But we'll continue to keep an eye on it and see what happens.
And I know you said that you think absentee ballots may have played a role, the way that they're counting that. Touch on that again for me.
Oh, yes. So we know that we were going to do better with in-person voting than absentee, but we're seeing a much more significant gap than we expected with absentee ballots versus in-person, which is also quite interesting. So now we're actually seeing more in-person election day results coming in, whereas like up until a few minutes ago or a half hour ago, we were seeing more absentee ballot results coming in, it looks like. So if that trend holds, then it will continue to go well. But again, we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes.
And you said win or lose, the important thing here is that you guys were able to get your message out. What is that message?
The message is the people have the power. People are sick of a system where money can buy everything, or people that have been in there as a dynasty forever can simply be in charge just because of that fact. People want to have control over our system. That's why we have the phrase "power to the people." The founding fathers wanted that as well. So I think that's a key message here.